Hello everybody, this is Mateo, and school has started for me. Why, thank you, that was actually oddly appropriate. Alright then, hopefully I remember to put that effect in, otherwise just gonna... talking! Hopefully I remember to put that effect in, that sound effect or whatever, otherwise it's gonna sound really weird. Ah well. So yeah, we are basically done with this town. I mean, we went through the Sprout Tower, we beat the gym, and that's about all that there is notable to this place. You can go south and skip a couple routes or whatever, and just go straight down there to hurry up with the game if you wish, or you could go through the routes, fight some extra trainers, and get some extra Pokemon along the way, which is what I'm going to do, of course. I really do think that in these games you should, fight every single trainer, at least, and then you should have enough experience for your Pokemon to have enough levels to be good, yeah. Actually, I think if you go down, the only thing that you're skipping is the Ruins of Alph, which really doesn't have anything to offer yet, since we don't have very many ways to travel. But I guess I was just checking it out, now I'm gonna go back to the west or something? I don't really know. So yeah, it's the very first day of school again, which means, oddly enough, that I'll probably be able to post more. Just because I have a more structured schedule or whatever. Oh, there's grass over here, we can catch some new Pokemon here. But yeah, I have more of a structured schedule than what I have over a break or a weekend. So honestly, it's probably more likely that I will be uploading. Oh, we got a Growlithe. Growlithe is a very neat Fire-type Pokemon, although one that I feel is overused. At least in terms of, like, people's in-game teams. And then yet, competitively, he's, like, barely used ever. So, just kind of a really unfortunate story for Growlithe. I really like him, but I think people put too much hype into him for the main game. Although I did use Growlithe in my last playthrough of Fire Red, even kept him for a Growlithe forever so that he learned Flamethrower by level up, and then I used the Firestone on him on the exact same level so he learned Extreme Speed as well. And then he turned into a powerhouse, which is very nice. Took forever though, he was Growlithe till level 55 or something like that. Yeah, Ruins of Alph, we really can't do too much here. We can catch one new Pokemon, but a majority of the good items that we need here, such as a Moonstone, are not obtainable yet, because we don't have stuff like Surf. And for right there, we need an escape rope, and if you use the item that they ask for or whatever, you solve their puzzle there, you'll get 4 free items. But if you solve these puzzles, you will go into a short little dungeon area where you can catch that Pokemon that I mentioned earlier. These puzzles are actually pretty neat, I really like them, and I hope that they bring them back somehow. I don't know, they're really simple, but they're just kinda neat. Anyways, this one is making the fossil Pokemon Kabuto, and I hope that I put those right. I remember in my last playthrough of this game, the Let's Play, I put those 2 bottom middle pieces in wrong, and it was just kinda bad. Because I was wondering, like, what did I do wrong? It honestly looks right. And, well, that's what was wrong. Apparently I got it right this time. There we go, we got a Kabuto, which is a really neat Pokemon. Used to be... well, Kabutops used to be one of my favorites, but eh. So we head on down here, and there's stuff on the walls, yep. And a weird thing, yeah. Also, I never noticed this, but the wall spells spot. Wonder if they spell anything else. Anyways, here we have Unknown. I'm pretty sure that this is like B, maybe? G, perhaps? I don't really know. Either way, an Unknown is a kind of bad Pokemon. He can only learn Hidden Power, which is a move that has a different type depending on what the IVs of the Pokemon are. And that's the only move he can learn, so I hope you're alright with only having one type of attack. Granted, with his stats, he's just all around not too great. He is a Psychic type though, so that's okay for him. But otherwise, not that great, honestly. Thing is with Unknown, I used to think that Unknown was a legendary Pokemon. I feel like this is most likely because of the movie. I'm pretty sure it's the third one, the one with Entei. and the Spell of the Unknown. Yeah, just because of the Unknown and their major role in that movie. Because, you know, they usually only give movies to the legendary Pokemon. So, you know. Although I guess that was kind of Entei's movie. And then Suicune was all important in Crystal, and then Raikou gets nothing, or Raikou. I honestly have no idea how I actually pronounce that name. I've had to pronounce it so little that I don't know. Funny story, I actually used to think that Raikou was an evolved form of Raichu. I got a Pokemon card of it, and I was like, hey, that's weird. They don't have it as a base 3 or base 2 evolving off of Raichu. And, well, it wasn't until much later that I learned he's his own guy. Well, yeah. I really didn't know too much about the Pokemon games when I was younger, but now I know. I'd like to think quite a bit. Here we have an Akins, which is a poison type. Kind of meh in my opinion. Might have used one once or twice. I kind of wanted to use one in my most recent playthrough of Fire Red, which I've been working on. But I just opted for other Pokemon instead. I opted for a Weezing. Instead, the other half of the Team Rocket duo, I guess. So, yeah, he's just kind of outclassed by other poison types. And poison type really isn't that great of a type in my opinion. It's probably one of my least favorite types in the game. You know, that'd be a rather interesting question because, you know, why not? I normally don't do this thing, but I'm just curious. What are your guys' favorite and least favorite types? Let's try to keep it to 2 or 3 favorite and 2 or 3 not so favorite types. For me, I'd have to go, ooh, that's tough actually, wow. Not so favorite, probably poison, normal, and... Wow, I really have to think about that. I'm gonna go with those 2 for now. And as for favorite, I'm going to say water, and... God, favorite is really tough. Maybe like fighting or psychic or dark? No, not dark. Dark's actually kind of low. I'm just gonna go with those. Flying is alright. I'm not a huge oh, ground. That would be another favorite of mine. There are a lot of good ground-type Pokemon, I feel. Okay, so got that out of the way. What are your guys' favorite and not so favorite? And if you have a reason why, go ahead and put that as well. I'd like to hear. So, yeah, we could have a conversation or something. That's always fun. Okay, Zubats. Why? Okay. Now, Flying's alright. I've been using an Archeops recently, and I've really been liking him. Pidgey just got 2 level ups off of that, and that's pretty nice. It always feels good when a Pokemon gets multiple level ups off of a single Pokemon. Although usually it's because your Pokemon is mega under-leveled, so really it shouldn't feel that great, but whatever. So while we're going through this whole stuff of just battling Pokemon and whatnot, you know, the usual, big news in terms of Pokemon today. So I guess I had something to look forward to on the 8th of January, 2013. And that was the news that they released concerning Pokemon on Pokemon Direct today. This is going to sound really outdated, like 2 or 3 years from now. But they announced new Pokemon games for the 3DS, which I was kind of expecting. Like, I was thinking that that was much more likely than 3rd-gen remakes like some other people were thinking. Just because they said it would evolve the series, and I really didn't think that they would start on the 3DS with a remake. They would instead go with new games, kind of what they did with Ruby and Sapphire. They did those 2 first, and then they did remakes. Although I'm like 95% certain that they're gonna make Ruby and Sapphire remakes on the 3DS 2 years later or something like they usually do, like what they did with Fire Red and Leaf Green. And then they'll make like what people are calling Pokemon Z or whatever. But yeah, Pokemon X and Y were released. I'm liking the designs. Whoa, starting way back up there. Okay, why not? Oh, I forgot an item, whatever. It's a Repel. I'm liking the designs for the starter. It's really difficult for me to pick a favorite out of the 3, honestly. My friend has already basically taken claim of the water type, which is like Froakie or something like that. I forget his name already. So, I don't know, I'm probably gonna get the grass or fire one so we can trade and get the 2 of them. But really, I'm liking all 3 of them. If I were to pick a least favorite one, probably the grass type. I don't know, lots of things to talk about, you know, maybe if you have room or whatever, mention your favorite starter of the 3 as well. My only gripe with the 6th generation is that I think it's kind of soon. Like, usually they wait 5 or 6 years or something like that, but this time it was only like 4, not even that, like 3.5. Although they are coming in October, so by then it would be 4. So it's kind of soon. Although I am looking forward to seeing all of the new Pokémon and how the new games, like, work in 3D. That's gonna be really awesome. And maybe I'll enjoy it more than Black and White 2. But just Black and White 2, I don't know. Let's get into a little rant, shall we? Black and White, I thought were awesome. Like, I liked them much, much better than Generation 4 especially, but just, they were so great. Nothing but new Pokemon, so every battle, especially at the beginning and then towards the end or whatever, every battle was a new experience, not just like, oh hey, here's the 18th millionth trainer within the series to use a Tentacool, or a Zubat. So there was that, as well as the new graphics that they were using, although kind of similar in the style to Diamond and Pearl. They were definitely a lot more detailed and whatnot, just looked more crisp or something, I don't really know. And the Pokemon animations as well were always neat to see. And every area was new as well, so you had so much exploration to do, and like, oh man, what Pokemon am I going to find in this area? Oh my god, it's a Golurk, I've never seen that before, what is it? Especially if you played it mostly blind like I did, didn't know what all the Pokemon were, and didn't know what types they were and whatnot. Just figuring that all out was great, and then all the new areas, and finding the Pokemon within those areas. But then Black and White 2, the first couple areas were new, and that was cool and all, I enjoyed that. And the addition of new and old Pokemon was kind of neat. Especially in those new areas, it's kind of interesting to see, like, oh hey, what can I find here, and what could I possibly use? But then once you get past the second gym and you head off that little island that you start at, it's just a lot of pretty much the same game as Pokemon Black and White, just with different Pokemon in the routes, as far as I'm concerned. Like, it wasn't as new, and therefore it was kind of boring. It was basically like I was playing the same game again. And normally I don't have a problem with that when it comes to Pokemon games. I mean, I've played through Fire Red like 15 times, and Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald like 10 times. So, I don't know, I mean, I don't... Maybe I've just been Pokemoning myself out recently, because I'm playing through Pokemon White 2, and I'm almost done with that. I'm on Victory Road right now. I'm doing this, and I'm doing, my Pokemon Fire Red 100% playthrough all at the same time. So, I don't know. Maybe that's it. But still, I feel like they should have had more stuff in Pokemon Black and White 2 than what they did. Or just have more new stuff in the main adventure. I guess I should specify. That would have made it better for me. And, well, with barely talking about the game at all, I guess that's the end of the part. So, yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this part. It's definitely pretty different, but, well, whatever. Just a whole bunch of news and stuff, and just honest talking, I guess. So, with that, I will see you all next time, and goodbye.